Hello, this is High Templar with a new episode of my Total War Warhammer mechanics. And today we'll be talking about the Wardancers. This is a new unit that came to us with the Realm of the Wood Elves, obviously. Wardancers, their stats are, well, their health is about 6100 health, so not much, only 80 women in the unit. There is armor of 15, so very low. Leadership of 70, so pretty high. Speed of 48, which is amazing for an infantry unit. Then attack of 49 and melee defense of 34, which are very impressive stats indeed. Weapon strength of 40 and charge bonus of 22. So stat-wise, they are pretty good, but, squishy. And their cost in multiplayer battles are 800. Let's match them against the Big Uns, who cost 700, so slightly less, 100 guys in unit, 8600 health, lot more armor, less impressive stats all around, except for the charge bonus and the weapon strength. Also, Big Uns are anti-large, so they are more specialized, and they should do worst against non-anti-large unit, which is more expensive than them. Let's see that fight. As you can see, this is very close to each other. The Wardancers seem to be wrecking more kills, but not by 50%, and they're losing more health, but in the end leadership of the Orcs has ended to their disadvantage. And when the Wardancers started to pursue the Orcs, they started to rack the kills very, very fast indeed, which is uncommon for any other infantry unit I know. But this performance is uninspiring, quite obviously, because that was less expensive unit, and they should do better, just simply better. How about Goreherd then? Goreherd is less armored unit, much less armored unit, and again their cost is 600, so 200 less than the Wardancers. How the Wardancers will fail in this fight? Let's look at the charge this time. Some very cool tumble animations, and just after the charge we can see 8 kills for the Wardancers and 5 for the Goreherd. So again, uninspiring performance. However, you can see that the Goreherd are losing a lot more health. The Goreherd has decent charge bonus, and their leadership would be again then their undoing. At the moment of the breaking, 33 Goreherds alive in this unit, so 25 kills only compared to 86. And there is half of the health, almost half, in this unit and 55 Wardancers. So that is much, much better. Still, is it something that you would get? Probably. In most unit costing 800 you would get similar performance, or even better if you use, for example, Chaos Warriors. And this is mid-tier infantry against the other mid-tier infantries. Not doing that great, doing decent, right? But not great. Let's test them against Chaos Warriors with Great Weapon, costing 850, but the Great Weapon would be lost on the Elves, who has armor only 15. So no more Chaos Warriors would do better, quite obviously. And this is another mid-tier infantry, high-tier infantry really, but for the Chaos it's mid-tier. And the charge, and we can see clearly they are losing. The Wardancers are losing quite substantially. The Wardancers have, however, another ability that they can use, and this is Shadow Coil. They have access to some Wardancers. Also from their abilities, something you might have missed, the Wardancers actually have physical resistance for 20%, and that is substantial, and they wouldn't do as well against the unit that actually has magical damage, but they still lose to the Chaos Warrior with great weapons. And this is similar result as we've seen them against the Big Uns. So what else can we tell about them, really? How about if we do use their War Dance, the Shadow Coil? Shadow Coil gives them 20 more defense, but takes out 20 attack. And this is very cool skill. And you are wondering probably why, because, you know, it gives as much as it takes, so why is it so cool? And I'm using the Shadow Coil. And we've seen this popped up again, right here. The time for this is 30 seconds and the cooldown is for 30 seconds, so you can have it up half of the time, which is pretty amazing, actually. And another break, very similar performance. So the Wardancers are pretty amazing, actually, and from this test you wouldn't see why. Well, firstly, they are not meant to be used against the target I've showed you. They are not meant to be used against the mid-tier and high-tier infantry, not in the full frontal attack. You have to use their advantage, so for example speed and high stats. Obviously you don't want for them to be caught in the fire from any range unit. Here we have 2 units of Goreherd. Goreherd, 160 of them in Ultra, so twice as many. We have 4 each. Wardancers, we have 4 Angors, and they have decent stats. Decent but not great. 26 melee, 24 defense in this particular setup, 16 charge bonus. They have a lot more health, so they should be pretty good against the Wardancers, since the Gore did pretty almost as well, and the Angor, 2 Angor units cost more by 80 gold. They are doing charge straight, and the other unit will be charging from a side or back, but seeing as the first unit drops quickly, they decided to attack in a side. Probably prematurely by 3 or 4 seconds, but still, I popped up Shadow Coil just before the attack to buff them against this charge. Wasn't much of the charge, not many units were affected, but as you can see, Goreherd are already breaking. Although there is still a lot of them alive, 70 right now, their health has gone to the quarter of what was there before. Almost quarter. And they will be breaking right now with 2100, so almost quarter of a health, and 51 Angors. They start dropping very fast at certain moment when their health was low. And the Wardancer, there is still 73 of them alive, and they have a lot of health, 4200. I'm popping Shadow Coil in the wrong moment. This unit will reroute and attack me before I will be able to replenish it, so they will get a hit, but not very extensive hit. And as you can see, I'm winning this battle pretty decisively. That is because there is a great difference between units that have over 30 stats and over 20 stats fighting the Wardancers. It's just a sweet spot for them. And they will perform very, very well indeed. And this battle didn't last that long, right? And the Wardancers are very, very fast. They can chase the enemy, not allow him to get out of the battlefield, and you can see 266 kills on this Goreherd. And if that not impress you, I don't know what will, really. That was pretty amazing. And if you want to fight against any range unit, you will be also surprised because those guys are pretty fast. They can and will go around your melee line with a speed of 48 and go straight into your range units, and results will be predictable. At this moment, those guys lost 2000 health, but there is only 4 of them dead. And the crossbowman has to run away at this point, but that won't help them much with the speed of 33. And I just want to show you what will happen right now. We have an impact right now, 21 seconds, right? What will happen right now? There is 0 kills on the Wardancers at this very moment. Full health on this crossbowman. And we got the charge in the back, so that's not a good charge. After 10 seconds, the crossbowmen are down to half of the health. 10 men only, but half of the health. Breaking after what? 16 seconds? Losing 40 men in those 15 seconds, 16 seconds, and most of the health. So again, they destroy those guys extremely fast, right? They are also very good to be used in the combined warfare. So you can get a line and then get them behind the lines and hit the enemy in the back. Same way you would use slayers or hammerers for the dwarves. And you would slayers for the dwarves because they are fast. And those guys are even faster. You can do the same with cav. However, the cav do not have quite a punch power of those guys for the same price. Yes, cav can break the enemy, that they will not kill the enemy as fast. And I'm using spears here. As every spear unit, those guys have decent leadership, but the elf units of spears have amazing leadership. And those guys will be cut into pieces by those Orc boys and Big Uns if fought on their own. But because the Wardancers are very, very fast indeed, what I'm going to do is charge in the back of the weaker unit of Orc boys, 115 of them, and see them drop pretty fast. Very little they can do about that. And breaking. And I should be cycle charging faster here, but with a unit that is that fast, you should be cycle charging. So I am cycle charging into the Big Uns. And with this attack, with still some of my spears holding, that's end. That is the end, and they will still run after those guys. And let's have a quick stat review with 34 guys killed here, 97 guys killed here, and 135 killed here. So yeah, again, quite amazing. And this was the unit that was fighting the longest against single unit of Orc boys. Right? So they were almost depleted with their health, but they were still standing there. The other way that you can use them is similarly to the cab unit. Light cab units you would use to charge at the enemy and run away, to pin the enemy down in the place that you want them to be, not chase after more valuable target, for example. Just chase the cab for a short amount of time, and we will do that here. We will use Stun Shiver to make this test faster, and attack and break and shoot and attack again, and the end. You can also use those guys to shoot in the melee. However, I did lost for a few moments 4 Wardancers here. They are quite vulnerable to the missiles after all. So still 49 kills for the greatswords on the Wardancers. That's pretty amazing. That is pretty huge. So in general, I do love this unit. I do love damage potential. I do love the way that you can use it for hold the line if you have to, because you have Shadow Coil, and you can use them to hold the line for quite long time and shoot them with your range units, or you can use them to absolutely squash the weaker units of the enemy in seconds. The problem is when those guys will be facing units like Swordmen. Swordmen do lose to Angors, but they are less expensive, 400 only. So the 2 units of swords are as expensive as the Wardancers, but they have bigger stats, 32 melee attack and defense, and they have slightly better armor. So they will not do as good, again popping Shadow Coil before the attack. The Wardancers will not do as well against the swords as against the Angor. But this is due to the missing the sweet spot that those guys can use in some units. Especially low defense unit will be very vulnerable against those guys. As you can see, they will still win, right? But there is only 39 of those guys alive, and they can chase after this enemy and kill them off. So flexible unit, amazing with damage potential. Do watch for them to be caught in the range, because they will drop pretty quickly, but you can use them to take out the range, just as you would use the light cav. You could use them in combined warfare, and you can very much use them to drop any low tier infantry of the same price or even higher. And this is all I wanted to tell you. I hope you like it. If you did, press like, comment if you will, and see my other videos. In Total War Warhammer, I do mod reviews, DLC analysis and speculation videos, I do mechanics videos, I also do let's plays in Total War series and other games. Thank you for watching, and see you later.